into the
This
server.
conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Okay guys, let's get started. So in today's session, what we are gonna do is we will first create few accounts. Those accounts we will be using on SCCM server and SQL database server. We will be logging into those computers. Okay, then we will add these accounts into the domain admin group. I'll let you know why we need that one. Then we will install .NET 3.5 on database server. We will install SQL Server on database server. Then we will install WADK. We'll install roles and features, whatever necessary to make a server as a primary site server. We'll we need SCCM server as the local administrator of database server, and we will reserve the memory in database server. So these are the prerequisite. We have to install these prerequisite step by step. So point number one. So we need to create accounts, separate account for SCCM, separate account for database server. So I'm gonna make somebody as a presenter, and then we'll take you through these steps. I'm gonna make James as a presenter. I'm gonna right click and make
Mine
presenter.
is not ready. I'm still trying to get to the portal.
No worries, I'll guide you.
Okay.
Kindly share your screen, please. Did you get a prompt to share the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so go to portal.azure.com. Enter your
Still asking.
username, enter your email address and password, the one which you have used to create.
Yeah, I went away.
Did you use a Gmail account or what?
No, Outlook.
Are you sure? Because it's not recognizing. Okay, enter the password.
It's not taking my password. I went away.
Enter your Gmail account.
Yeah, I'm going to. It's not.
Can you type in your Gmail account there first?
Yeah.
Now on your email Gmail, did you receive any code?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I've received
you need
it.
you need to
Yeah,
enter that code here.
I've received it. 667.
Choose a new password And make a note of this username and password somewhere
Yeah.
so that you don't you know you don't have to remember it. Now re-enter the password. Okay, sign in. Yeah, enter your password, the new password which you have set. And make a note of this username and password so that you don't
Yeah.
have to remember it. Okay,
With it. Yeah. Everything.
fine. Now, so first thing first, what we have to do, we need to go to virtual machine at the left hand side. Virtual machine, not virtual net, that's virtual network. Click on virtual
Oh,
machine.
virtual machine. Okay.
Yes, click on that.
Yeah. Click it. Now
Left
we're going
click.
to add.
No, you have to click it. You did not click it. Left click. Yeah. Now, you see these virtual machines are, I think they are in stopped mode. We have to start them first. So every day before you join the session, James
Yes.
and everyone, you guys need to, log in
And
to
restart.
Azure portal and start these computers so that we don't have to wait for, servers to get started.
Okay.
No, not restart. It has to be start. Restart when the computer is already running, then you have to click on restart.
Uh,
Wait, looks like this is taking little more time. I'm gonna take control. Can you give me control, please?
okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, notice. You see these computers are in stopped mode. When it is a stopped mode, then you cannot log into these computers. So you will have to first start these computers. So every day before you join the session, you must start these computers.
That's
Okay.
ready. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and keep it ready. Now it will take a few minutes, probably 2-3 minutes, and then you will be able to log into these computers. So what really happens, when it is stopped, uh, it frees up the RAM, processor, motherboard, the hardware configuration. Only the hard drive will stay as it is, but other components will get removed, when you stopped it. And when you start it, again, it reassembles all the thing, and then your computer will be up and running. Okay.
Okay.
So once it is started, you need to then go to this one, remote desktop connection manager. And we have to right click on SCCM lab and choose connect group so that these computers will get connected.
Okay.
Understood?
Yeah. Put my password.
No, don't put your password now. Let's wait for few more seconds. Yeah, let's put the password. Let's me just click on connect group one by one. Let me just click on yes. Okay. No, wait. We have to use this account, James,
Different.
and the password. Done?
Yeah. Done.
You did not enter the password correctly, James. The machine password. Yes. Hmm. Can you log into domain as well?
Okay.
Just double click on domain. No, at the left hand side you have domain, right? Yeah, more choices,
Mm.
more choices. Choose you need to use lab.com/James because this is domain controller and you have already logged in. I mean, made this as a domain controller. So you have to use the domain account, not the local account.
Okay.
Lab.com slash the other slash, not this slash. The
Backwards lab.
backwards, yes, backward slash. Right. Hmm. Okay. Now, so we just logged in to all these computers. Let me open a notepad and we will write down all the steps what we are going to do today. So today is what? 14th October. Topics. First thing first, point number one, we need to create service account. The account name will be SCCM admin. The second one will be SQL admin. So we will use SCCM admin to log into SCCM server, and we'll use SQL admin to log into database server. Okay, so we need service account. So let's create a service account in domain controller. We need to go to tools and Active Directory user and computers. So Active Directory user and computers is like a database which where we create our users and join computers to the domain. So all those information can be seen here. So far what we have done, we joined two computers to the domain, and those two computers are showing up here as you see, database and SCCMPS. Now we have a user section here. These are the you can say containers and organization unit. So in user container you see James is there, right? So we have only one user at the moment, which we are using to log into this domain controller. So we are using James to log into domain controller. Similarly, we need a couple of accounts to log into SCCM and database server. So first thing first, I'm gonna right click on this lab.com and choose new and choose organizational unit. So I'm going to create one different folder which is called organizational unit, like SCCM lab, and click OK. You see, we created just another container, a folder, or organization unit, you can say a separate folder, and inside this I'm going to create SCCM admin and SQL admin. So right click and choose new and choose user. We need to create user. So the first user is SCCM, first name SCCM and last name admin. And the login name, the account, the username will be SCCM admin. And next, and I'm gonna password never expires. Password never expires. And can you choose a new password? The same password you can put there, James, in both these boxes, so that we don't have to remember multiple password. Okay, so we go next and finish. So this account is ready now, SCCM admin. Similarly, we have to create one more account. Right click and choose new and choose user, and the account name will be SQL admin, SQL admin, and next, password never expires, and choose the password, the same password you need to enter in both these boxes. Next and finish. So we created two accounts, SCCM admin and SQL admin, and we already have one account, and that is James, right? So I'm gonna move this account to that container. It's not necessary, but just to keep all the accounts at one location. So I'm moving that one into SCCM lab. So now we have three accounts. One is SCCM admin. We will be using this account to log into SCCM PS server. Second one, SQL admin, we will be using this account to log into this database server, and we'll use James to log into domain controller. So we have three computers, and for those three computers we have three accounts. Clear, everyone? Any question? James, Vikash, all good?
Yeah, good. Good. Following.
Okay, so three accounts we created. Now, give me 1 minute. The notepad.
The OU to the lab. How we remove the OU? We remove James OU to SSM lab.
Yeah, we moved it,
Yeah.
moved the user.
Yeah.
You have to, if you have to move anything, you just right click and choose move option. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So now it was not mandatory step, but just to keep all the things at the same place.
It's
Okay,
same
same
OU.
location, same OU. I'm gonna remove some of the things from here so that it will be a little less crowded. Okay, now, so what I did, we created account. Now the second thing what we have to do is we need to give permission to these accounts. These accounts are plain accounts. These account will not, you will not be able to log into database and SCCM server using these account which we have created. So we have to give permission. So we need to add these accounts into domain admin group. Domain admin means those account will have admin rights on all the computers which are domain joined. Okay, so the moment we add the computers, add the account into domain admin group, they will get permission, admin permission to database and SCCM server, or whatever the computers we are, we will be adding in future. So they will be the administrator of all the computers. So you see these two accounts which we just created, SCCM admin and SQL admin. You right click on them and choose add to a group and put domain admin and click on check names and click on OK. Why do we need that one? Because we have to use these account to install applications, right? And also we need admin rights on computers to do the installation of SCCM client. So that's the reason we are adding it to domain admin group, so that they will have admin rights on the computers. So they are added successfully. I'm going to click on OK. Now we will be using these accounts on database and SCCM PS. So let's go to database server, and we need to log off from a database, and we will use the new account. So let me just go to full screen on the database server. Right click on this start button. You are taking the mouse? You need something, James? So I'm gonna sign out from database. Okay, and also I'm gonna sign out from SCCM server, because James, you need the mouse. You're looking for something, James?
Yeah, I was muting the speaker.
Okay, can I take the mouse again?
Yes, please. Sorry.
No worries. Okay, so right click on SCCMPS and full screen, and we have to log off from SCCM server as well, because right now we are logged in with local account on these computers. So we don't need to log in with local account. We already created 2 accounts in the domain. Yeah, so to log into these computers we have to enter the username and password, but we don't have to enter the username and password multiple times. So we will go to properties, right click on database properties, and go to logon credential, and give the username and password here and save that, so that we don't have to enter the password again and again. So the username is what, lab.com slash, and this is database, so we will use SQL admin,
Admin.
right? And the password, enter the password please. Done, and click OK. Very good. So we have pre-configured the username and password. So next time what we have to do, we just have to right click and connect server. It won't ask for the username and password. Okay, that means you did not enter the password correctly. Let's go back.
Let's go back. Sorry.
Oh, wait. Delete it and put the right password there. Okay, to connect to these computers, you just have to right click or double click, and that should connect. You see, it did not ask anything. It took the username and password which we had already configured. Similarly, right click on SCCM properties and login credential, and uncheck this box and give the
Put
username and password lab.com. And what will be the username? SCCM admin,
SCCM.
and the password please. And we just have to double click on SCCM PS, and that should take the username. Wait. Okay, you clicked on yes. Okay, fine. Now we have given the username and password on database and SCCM. Similarly, we also need to give the username and password for domain, so that you don't have to enter the username and password when you are logging into domain server. So the domain is what? lab.com/james. No, not SQL. SQL is for database. SCCM is for SCCM.
Okay.
James is for domain.
Domain.
Yeah. We have 3 computers and 3 accounts, right? Done. Very good. Now, once you have given all these configuration, you have to click on File and save SCCM lab.rdp file, so that you don't have to, do all those tasks again. It has saved the configuration. So save, make sure you save it. Now, let me just right click and disconnect group, and these are disconnected now. And to connect back, we have to right click and connect group, just to see whether it is taking the username and password or not. Let's check this box and it will not come again. Wait. Disconnect group. Now, next time onwards, we just have to right click and connect group, and it won't ask you any pop-up. Nothing will come. It will go ahead and get you connected directly. Clear? Gurupreet and Vikash?
Yes, clear.
All good? So make sure you save the configuration when you are when you have made the changes here. Okay. So these are the steps we have done so far. We created account and added these accounts into domain admin group, and then we logged in to these login to servers using domain account. Make sure you use the domain account to log in, not the local account. Okay. Now, point number 4 is we have to do all the prerequisite. Now from here, we start doing the prerequisite. There are somewhere around 20 prerequisite for SCCM. So before SCCM installation starts, we have to install all the prerequisites. So I'm gonna say SCCM prerequisites. Okay, that's point number 4. We need to install .NET Framework 3.5 on database server. So why we need .NET 3.5 to install SQL Server? Just like we did ADDS role installation on domain server, then only we were able to make that computer as a domain controller. Similarly, we need to have .NET 3.5 on database server, then only we will be able to make that server as a SQL server. So let's go to database, and on database server we need to right click and do full screen, and then we go to local server just to verify the name of the computer. So that is database lab.com. Now what do we do here? We need to install .NET 3.5 on this server, then only we will be able to make this server as a SQL server. So let's go to manage at the right hand side top and add roles and features, and then we go, this is the wizard which helps you to install roles and features on servers. So I'm going to go next, and choose next again, and we choose .NET 3.5, and at the right hand side you see the destination server database.lab.com. so we have to make sure it is you are logged into database server. Then next, and we need to choose install. That's it. So .NET 3.5 will get installed in few minutes from now. Okay. Now the second point is point number 5. We need to install roles and features on SCCM server, SCCM PS server. we need to install following roles and features on SCCM server. So what all roles and features needed on SCCM server? So we need to install IIS web server IIS. That's the first thing what we have to do. The second thing is we need to install .NET 3.5. Then we need to install .NET 4.5. Then bits, background intelligent transfer service. Then we have to install remote differential compression, RDC. Then we need to install Windows authentication, okay, WA, Windows authentication. Then we have to install ASP.NET 3.5. Then we need to install IIS 6 WMI compatibility. And then we need to install IIS scripts and tools. So these are the roles and features needed to make a server as SCCM primary site server. Okay, so let's do that. I'm gonna go to SCCM server, and we are on SCCM server. Right click on SCCM PS and choose full screen, and let's go to local server just to verify the name of the computer. As you see, this is SCCM PS server, and we will make this server as SCCM primary site server. So we have to install some roles and features here. So let's go to manage and add roles and features. Now this is the wizard which helps you to install roles and features on this server. So let's go next. So this is the name, sccmps.lab.com. This is the IP address. Let's go next. Now we have to choose web server IIS. That's the first role, and choose add feature. Okay, web server IIS. Then we need to go next, and then we need to choose .NET 3.5 and everything inside .NET 3.5 like HTTP activation, add feature, non-HTTP activation, then everything inside .NET 4.5. So we have to expand WCF services and choose HTTP activation, add feature, message queuing, MSMQ, add feature, named pipe activation, and TCP activation. So everything inside .NET 3.5 and 4.5 we have selected. Okay, then we have to choose bits, background intelligent transfer service, add feature, and we go down and choose remote differential compression, and then we go next, and then next again. Now in here we have to choose Windows authentication under security. This is the one, Windows authentication, and expand application development and choose ASP.NET 3.5. So I'm going to choose ASP.NET 3.5, and down at the bottom we have IIS 6 management compatibility. I'm going to choose IIS 6 WMI compatibility, and the last one, this one, IIS management scripts and tools. So there are like 10, 12 roles and features what we have to select, and then we go next and install. Now you see this destination server is sccmps.lab.com, and that is getting installed on this server. So we have completed point number 5. Point number 5 is done. So all the roles and features what we needed, like web server, IIS.NET 3.5, 4.5 bits, RDC, WA, that is Windows authentication, everything is selected and installed. Now point number 6 is we need to install WADK on SCCM PS server. What is WADK? WADK is Windows Assessment Deployment Kit. So that's also a prerequisite for SCCM. Using Windows Assessment Deployment Kit, you will be able to deploy operating system over the network. You know, we need to deploy operating system on computers through SCCM. So without installing WADK, SCCM will not be able to push operating system on devices. So that's a prerequisite. So let's go ahead and install WADK on SCCM PS server. So I'm going to go to SCCM PS and right click on SCCM and full screen and right click on start and choose run and type in www.google.com. So in companies, you don't have to do all these things because, you know, SCCM will already be set up there, and you have to just start working on SCCM profile. You know, so if it is not there, then probably you will have to do it. But most of the companies will already have SCCM. Now, so first thing is we need to open Google, and in Google you type in WADK download. Windows Assessment Deployment Kit download. You search and choose the first link, that is download and install WADK Windows Assessment Deployment Kit. And so this is the link which helps you to download the WADK file from Microsoft website. There are multiple versions like 1903, but I'm gonna take little old one because the new version of WADK, we have to install both of them, the first one and the second one. So instead of doing that, we already have a version which contains both of them in one component, and that is 1803. 1803, if you install, then you don't have to install multiple components one by one. It contains all the components. So I'm going to click on ADK for Windows 10 version 1803 and choose run. And this is the location where the installation will happen. So we'll leave that as default. Next, accept. Now we have to choose a couple of things like deployment tool. So using this tool, we will be able to deploy operating system over the network. Okay. So we'll leave that as it is. The second one is WinPE, Windows, the boot images. You know, these two boot images will help you to deploy to make the computer bootable. You know, when the computer does not have any operating system, then at that point of time it needs to boot because it's just a plain hardware. So these these two boot images will help the computer to become bootable, and we don't need these extra things. Let me just remove all the extra things. We need deployment tool to deploy operating system over the network. We need boot image, the WinPE image, and the last one is USMT. USMT is to capture user settings. Suppose you are formatting a computer, right? and you would like to capture the user setting first before the computer is formatted. So first thing first is we capture the user setting, and then we will restore. In case if user wants the same data, we can restore the user's data. So that this USMT tool will help you to capture and restore both. So three things are needed: a deployment tool, Windows pre-installation environment WinPE, and USMT. And then choose install and say yes. That's it. So leave it as it is for like a few minutes, and you will have WADK installed right here. So that's point number 6. Now the point number 7 is we have to download SQL Server disk and install on database server. So basically we have to download the SQL Server disk, the installer, and then we will install it on the database server. Then that database server will become the SQL Server. SQL Server. So let's go to database server now and close this one, close this. Now on database server, did you download the installer? I don't think you have downloaded. So let me just give you the link. Give me 1 minute. SQL. Okay, so I just sent that link on the WhatsApp, plus I'm gonna send that here. Can you click on that, James, the link which I just sent on the chat window? You will have that link in the chat. Just click on that so that we can copy that link and download the SQL right here, the installer. Just click on that.
On this one?
Yeah. Did you get my link on the chat window on GoToMeeting?
No, I haven't got it.
You did not get it?
No.
On the GoToMeeting chat window?
Let me.
I sent again. Can you check?
Yeah, I've seen it now. It is in my phone. Yeah.
Okay. Not in phone, on the GoToMeeting itself. You have the link right there. You did not find it?
I saw it, but it wouldn't open.
Just click on that.
Yeah, I did. Oh, no.
Yeah, wait. Okay, so this is the link. I'm gonna copy that link but we don't have to download here on the local computer. We have to download in SQL database server. So I'm going to copy that link and go to the database server. So on the database server, you right click and start and run and paste the link here in run and hit enter. So we need to download this installer. This is SQL Server Installer 2014. Okay, you see SQL Server 2014 SP2, and we need to download it here and choose download anyway and click on save. So it is downloading the SQL Server disk, the installer from my Google Drive into this database server. So within like few seconds, probably a minute from now, this will get downloaded. Vikash, Gurpreet, any question from you guys?
No.
Are you guys also doing simultaneously?
No.
Okay. You will do it later, right?
Yes.
But you guys are following, right, the steps, what we are doing? Okay. So this is SQL Server 2014, and we need to make this server as a SQL Server. So we just downloaded this installer, almost there. Yeah, it's done now.
So when I'm installing the .NET 3.5 and other prerequisite on SCCM server, it asks for a source file, like with the the one which is SXS folder, which is
Yeah,
available on the.
You don't have to give that because it has internet connection. It will download from internet.
Okay.
Okay, so you see it got downloaded. I'm gonna click on open folder and close this browser. And this is a SQL Server installer. And if you click on view and choose file name extension, you see this is what? The ISO image. This is a disk file. So right click on this and choose mount. Mounting means we are virtually inserting this CD disk into this computer. Okay. And now we have the setup.exe. I'm going to double click on this setup.exe and choose yes. So what we are doing, we are installing SQL Server on this database server. Now, before you install, this is the mandatory step what you have to do. Okay, before you install, you need to open command prompt and type who WHOMI just to make sure you are logged in to this computer with the right account, lab/SQL admin. In case if you are logged in with local account or any other account, make sure you log off and log in with the right account just to verify the account. Plus, you also verify host name and enter. So this is, I'm getting background noise, probably from Gurpreet. Okay, so host name, just to verify the computer name and the account name. Make sure you are logged in to the right computer with the right username. So you see lab/SQL admin and the name of the computer is database. In case if you see the changes here, make sure you log off and log in back with the right account. Now we
Hello?
go, yes.
Sir, I want to ask, SCCM administrator has admin right, means it has all rights. Then why we use another account?
We are using two accounts. One is for SCCM installation and another account for SQL installation.
Okay.
Understood? So that the benefit of this, in case you are not managing database, in many companies what happens, database team will be managing your database, whatever it is, let's say your SCCM database or SCOM database. So they will use their personal account.
Okay.
Understood?
Okay.
Normally they don't give permission, the read write permission on to the database. They will give you read only permission, not the read write permission. So I am guiding you based on the company's best practice.
Okay.
That's what, when I deploy SCCM in companies as per Microsoft recommendation plus company's best practice, we normally do like this. Like, we create account, and that account will be given to the SQL administrator, and one more account we will be adding the SCCM admin, and that account will be given to SCCM team.
Okay. Thank you.
Now the installation, we have to go to click on installation, and we will choose this new SQL server standalone installation or add feature to an existing installation. Now we don't have license, right? We have evaluation. So we'll leave it as it is, and we'll go next. Accept the license terms and condition. Next. And we'll go next. Okay, so everything is passed except Windows Firewall, that is giving you warning message. So that's okay. We will configure the firewall later on. We'll go without making any changes here. Next. Next. Now we have to choose a couple of features here. So first thing first, we have to choose database engine service. Then only you will be able to make this computer as a SQL server. Second one is reporting services, to store the reports into the report server and integrate those reports into SCCM console. So we need a reporting services, right? So we have chosen two things: database engine service and reporting services. Plus the last thing is we have to choose management tool and management tool complete. This is gonna be used to connect to the database. I mean, to log into the database and query the database. So this is a tool which helps you to, to log in to database, and you can get your reports from there. So there are three things which I have chosen: database engine service here, reporting services, and the last thing is SQL Management Studio. And then we go next. Now instance ID will be the default one. We'll go with the default MS SQL server. Then next. Now these are the services which will get created in this server. So SQL Server Agent, SQL Server Database Engine Service, Reporting Services, and Browser. These services will have to be in automatic mode. So I'm gonna make it automatic, all of them, because if you restart this server, due to some reason, you don't have to manually start these services. It will get started automatically. These services are crucial services, so we don't have to manually manage these services. But we have to give an account to manage these services. In case if you have to, stop this account, or I mean, in case if you have to start this service and you don't know the password, then it will fail. So we need to use domain account. NT service is basically the local account. We don't want local accounts. I'm going to delete that and choose lab/SQL admin. So this is our domain account. Copy and put in and then put the password in these boxes. SQL admin password, please. Yeah, in all the 3 boxes. Okay, wait. No, we have to go to collation. Collation is a language. Okay, so there are many languages here. Like if you click on customize, you will see the languages here, like Icelandic, Hungarian, you will have Latin, multiple languages, Ethiopian, but SCCM supports only one language. If you install database in a different language, then SCCM cannot talk to the database. So SCCM supports only this language, SQL underscore Latin 1 underscore general underscore CP1 underscore CI underscore AS. So this is basically a Unicode language in which we are going to install our SQL server. So we'll leave the default. In case if you have a different language, make sure you choose this one from the list. Click on customize and choose this one, and then we go next. Now, who will be the administrator of database? Who will have read and write permission on the database? Who will be managing the database? So we can click on add current user. So this guy will have read and write permission onto the database server. Plus, we have to add SCCM admin. So we click on add and choose SCCM admin. So these 2 accounts will have read and write permission onto the database server. Okay, SQL admin and SCCM admin both have read and write permission on the database server. So they are the administrator of database. And then next and install. So that's it. So that's how the installation of SQL Server happens. And in like 15 minutes from now, you will be able to see the the SQL Server is up and running. So we have completed point number 7. Any question? Anyone? So far? Vikash, Gurpreet, James?
No.
The only problem is I got error for that installing .NET, asking for SX external source.
No, why you are getting that issue? Because you have not turned off the IE enhanced security, because the computer is not able to connect to the internet.
No, it's off. IES is off. I've already enabled
IE
of
enhanced
the,
security.
yes, from the local server, the IE enhanced security configuration is already off.
Okay.
Anyway, I've already downloaded the folder SX, so
SQL.
I'm going to install it again.
Okay, so if that is not happening, download the ISO disk, server disk, or SXS from internet. Okay, so we completed point number 7. Now the point number 8 is configure firewall. So we need to have group policy in place. I'm getting background noise. Okay, so we have to have firewall. Let me just close this. Close this. Okay, so point number 8 is firewall configuration. So we need to enable certain port on database server, certain ports on SCCM server, certain ports on client computers. Okay, so either you do those configuration manually on each computer, or you deploy a group policy, and that policy will be applied on all the computers. You don't have to manually configure firewall in each and every computer. So that's the benefit of group policy. So I'm going to show you my share my screen and show you what all policy what all firewall configuration we need. I hope you guys can see my screen, right, Vikash? Right?
I can see it, yeah.
Okay, so firewall configuration. Now on client computer, okay, that means the computers which SCCM is going to manage. Let's say Windows 10 computer, Windows Server, Windows 7, or any computer which is going to be managed through SCCM. So we can say client computer, client computers. Now on those computers, we need to enable, we have to have, we have incoming port and outgoing port. So we have to open certain incoming ports and outgoing ports on all computers. So let's talk about incoming or inbound ports. So on those client computer, we need port 80. Okay. Plus we need to enable port number 443. Plus we need to enable port number 8530. Plus we need to enable port number 8531. So these are 4 ports needed on client computers. Plus you also need to enable file and printer sharing. File and printer sharing ports, so that the computer can download files from SCCM distribution points. Plus Windows management instrumentation. That is WMI port. So using that port, the server can query the computers. Okay, so there are 3 ports, these three configuration incoming configuration needed on computers: port 80443, 8530, 8531, file and printer sharing, and WMI. You can make a note of it. Now on the client computer. Now on database server, you know, SCCM server also needs to talk to database server. SCCM also needs to talk to client computers, right? So incoming connection, outgoing connection. So we need that kind of connection. So for database server, so on database, we have to enable 1433 and 4022. These are the two ports needed on database server. And then these are the incoming ports, and you know, the outgoing port. So we need only one outgoing port, so the client can connect to the computer, you know, outgoing port. So that is file and printer sharing on all computers. So using this port, the devices, the client computers, can talk to the SCCM server. Understood, guys? Vikash, James,
Yes.
Gurpreet.
What is WMI?
Windows Management Instrumentation. Using this one, because SCCM client and server talks using WMI language. Understood? WMI query language. Just like a SQL language, WMI is almost similar to SQL language, WQL language. So it uses WMI port to connect to the computer, to query the computer, to get the information of the computer. So we need that port.
Okay.
Understood?
Yeah.
So incoming and outgoing. So in every computer, there are some ports, right? We have to enable the incoming gates and outgoing gates in every computer, incoming and outgoing. So let's do that. Either you manually do that on each and every computer, like go to the firewall and right click and go to the ports and enable that, or you deploy through group policy. So let's do it through group policy. I'm gonna make you presenter, James, again. So as I discussed, the firewall configuration we have to do in every computer using group policy. So let's go to domain and right click on domain and choose, you taking the mouse? James, you need the mouse?
No, I don't need the mouse.
Okay, because I was not able to access. Okay, so let me take the mouse, right click and go to full screen. Now on this domain computer, we need to go to server manager and then go to tools and we go to group policy management. So in every computer, we have to enable inbound and outbound ports, which we just discussed. So we have to expand this lab.com, and inside that we have domains, and inside we have lab.com. So I'm going to create one policy which is going to be applied on domain level. Domain level means all the computers which are joined to this domain will have that configuration. So right click on that and choose create a GPO in this domain and link it here. And you can name it anything of your choice. Let's say SCCM Firewall Configuration and click OK. Now this policy is created, but this is a blank policy. So let me just click on do not show this message and click OK. You see, this is created SCCM firewall policy, but if you go to settings, nothing is defined in the setting. That is completely blank. As you see, computer configuration, no setting defined. User configuration, no setting defined. So you have to right click on that, on SCCM firewall configuration, and edit. So whatever the changes we are going to make here, that changes will be applied on all the domain joined computers. Suppose you have 10,000 computers and all of them are domain joined computers, so it's going to apply on all those 10,000 computers. So you don't have to manually do it. Now, first thing first, we have to go to policy and then Windows settings and then security settings and then Windows Firewall Advanced Security and then Windows Firewall Advanced Security and inbound rule. So if you do make any changes in inbound rule, the computer will have inbound communication. If you make any changes in outbound, the computers will get outbound communication. So I'm going to right click on inbound rule and choose new rule. So we choose port. We have to enable few ports on all computers. And we'll go next. Now we need to enable ports that is 80, comma, space 443, comma, space 1433, comma, space 4022, comma, space 8530, 85, comma, space 8531. So except 1433 and 4022, because these are the two ports which are needed only on database, but I am putting it for all computers, but in production we specifically do it for database. Now port 80443, we have to make sure we type in properly in the same format, like 80, comma, space 443, comma, space 1433, comma, space 4022, comma, space 8530, comma, space 8531. Next. The computers which are joined to domain, private, public network, that's not a problem. It is gonna enable those ports. Next. And you can say SCCM firewall ports. Finish. So that's done. Incoming rule, ports are done. Again, we have to right click on inbound rule, new rule, and choose predefined. And this time we choose file and printer sharing. File and printer sharing, as we discussed, that has to be, this port has to be enabled on all the computers. Next. Getting background noise. Okay, so finish. So inbound rule, there are two rules we have created. One is SCCM firewall port, and other one is printer and file sharing. File and printer sharing. And the last one, right click and in new rule and predefined and choose Windows instrumentation, Windows management instrumentation, WMI. Next, and finish. So in inbound, we have completed all the tasks, all the ports, whatever needed for all computers. Inbound rule is created. So in every computer, after like few minutes from now, these ports will get enabled in inbound. We also need to make changes here in outbound. So we right click on outbound rule, new rule, and predefined, and choose file and printer sharing. So we have to choose file and printer sharing for outgoing connection in every computer. Next, and allow the connection and finish. So in outbound, we only need file and printer sharing. That's it. So that the computers will be able to send the inventory file to the SCCM server. And in inbound rule, we have configured WMI, file and printer sharing, and all the required ports. That's it. So we have completed. If you just click on refresh here, you should be able to see all the configuration here in the settings. So we don't need anything here. Within like few minutes from now, this policy will get applied on all the computers. Or if you want to apply it right away, you do gpupdate force on the computers, or restart or log off and log in back. That policy will get applied on the computers. Give me 1 minute. Let me see my notes, what all things we have completed. Okay, I think we have completed everything for, no, one more thing is, let me just do point number 9. SCCM PS needs admin rights on database server. SCCM needs admin rights so that it can remotely send some installer files or services. So it has to be admin on the database server. So I'm going to go to database. The installation is completed. I'm going to click on close and close this. And right click on start on this database server and choose computer management. And this expand this local user and groups and click on groups and administrators. And currently these are 2 people who have admin rights on this server. I'm going to add object types, computers, and we need to add SCCM server. So SCCM PS and check names and click OK and apply and OK. So SCCM server will have admin rights on this computer. All good, guys? Everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So we
Yeah,
completed
it's
all the
good.
tasks. Yeah, we completed all the tasks what we needed for today. So I'm gonna check all these boxes again and click on stop and click on yes. So our configurations are done, whatever we were supposed to do today, and we have stopped all the computers. So just to remind and give a quick summary, guys, what we have done today. First thing first, we created service account, and then we added the service account into domain admin group. Then we logged in to the server using those service accounts, and then we started doing all the prerequisite. So install .NET 3.5 on database server. Then we install all the roles and features on the SCCM server. Then we install WADK on SCCM server. Then we install downloaded SQL Server disk and install database SQL Server on the database server. Then we configured firewall using group policy. And the last is SCCM server was made as what administrator of SQL Server. These are the things which we have completed today. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Any question before we wrap it up? James, Gurpreet, Vikash?
No, all good.
Okay, guys. So I want you guys to perform the same steps and keep your, make sure you guys are on the same page, Gurpreet and Vikash. So tomorrow we will have our SCCM server ready. So there are few more configurations needed. The prerequisite, we'll do all those prerequisites tomorrow, and we'll have our SCCM server ready by tomorrow.
So the firewall port which you have created, the inbound and outbound, that has to be on both the servers, right? On SQL and SCCM?
Yes.
Okay. Great. So
SQL, sorry. I did not. SQL server needs 1433 and 4022. But since we are going to install SCCM client on that computer as well, that's the reason we need those ports as well. Otherwise, the client will not be able to talk to the server. Port 80, port 443, 8530 is for WSUS for patching. Understood? 8531 is
okay.
also for patching. You're doing patching on SSL mode.
Okay. But if I have another client, like if don't want to patch database, then I don't need those ports.
You don't need that. But normally we do it because we have to patch all our servers. Okay.
Right. Makes sense. Okay.
Okay, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. I hope the session was informative. We'll meet again same time tomorrow. Thank you. Bye now.